Welcome to the Talkin' Baseball pregame show. Coming to you live in Roosevelt Studios here, rsvlts.com. I got half a chip in my mouth. Jake, how are you doing?
Good, Jim. I'm good, Jim. We got I mentioned this earlier. The Marlins news had been a kick to the dick earlier this week. This morning was just kind of a flick to the balls that you're like, that sucks. But we're moving on. We've got I was going to say full slate of games. We got a slate of games. And, yeah, man, baseball's still going. I'm excited. We're starting to get that mix. Like, we've still got a couple ones out there, but we've also got some people throwing junk. Getting excited for the weekend series. We stayed up. We had a late night last night, so I think we're going to run out of steam soon. Trevor Plouffe, there's never a late night for you, baby.
I don't know what that means at all, but I appreciate your guys' hard work. I was playing poker last night, and I saw that you guys were going live, so I hopped into chat, talked to a few people. It was good times, man.
How'd you do in the cards?
Not great. Couple bad beats. Online poker is a joke. So
Tough. That's tough. You want to get right into this slate of games?
Let's do it, man.
Jake, I'll take the East.
Is
that fair?
Take the East, kid.
Okay.
Take the East, kid.
Here we go. In the Eastern region today, we have the Red Sox facing off against the Yankees in the Bronx, a matchup people have been clamoring for. Weber or Weber, not sure how you say it, versus Jordan Montgomery. Red Sox trying to not be the second worst team in their division. Yankees trying to keep it at just one loss. Just one loss. The Mets and the Braves are squaring off in a game that I'm interested in. Ricky Porcello versus Sean Newcomb. Similar records there, and the Mets kind of have some momentum a little bit. Also in the East, the Nationals and the Marlins aren't playing. They were supposed to play. The Rays and the Orioles play. Blake Snell versus Alex Cobb, two ex-teammates. Friends of the show. What else do we have here? Looks like that's all. Looks like that's all.
Yeah.
How can that be all?
The East lost 2 games. Philly and Toronto still not knowing what they're doing, and Washington and Miami.
Yeah.
So
that's all.
Yep.
3 games. That's all.
Tight little East Coaster. How
Red
about
Sox.
Yanks Sox?
Good. That's if those are the 3 games, 2 of them are good. Yanks, Sox, and Mets, Braves. I like that. I mean, Rays, Orioles. Orioles are pretty bad, so Rays should win. Although Cobb might be pitching to get traded eventually. We talked to Cobber. I like him.
Cobb's a good dude.
It was almost the game I'm watching tonight because, Jim, what's the one thing the Orioles do well?
They hit lefties.
They hit lefties. Snellagram, a guy they've seen before.
He's not a typical lefty, but, I'll go with it.
I'm just telling you. I mean, you know your guy, Hanser Alberto. You guys are boys, 400 versus lefties. Reynaldo Nunez crushes lefties. So I'm just saying, might not be an easy day at the ballpark for Snell and Cobber. One of the starters that gives the Orioles a chance to do it. So, Boston, New York. Are we excited? We're excited.
No. Why?
Well, that's good. Just a Yankee fan. I no one that's not a Yankees or Red Sox fan should be excited about Montgomery versus Weber. No one cares. But as a Yankees fan, I'm excited. They haven't played a home game yet. And the Red Sox always is a little more of like, fun. So
yeah, it's similar to like the Dodgers-Giants thing early on. It's like, are you really excited about it this year? Probably not. You have the historic rivalry, but it's not really the same right now.
Yeah. What's going on in the Central, Jake?
Bang, in the Centrale. We got Cincinnati at Detroit. Luis Castillo gets run out there again against Spencer Turnbull. Yee. Sorry, Spence.
That was mean.
The Chicago White Sox at Kansas City. Dallas Keuchel versus Chris Bubich. Young prospect going up against the old bull. Cleveland at Minnesota. Game a lot of eyes will be on Clevenger versus Randy Dobnak. Former Uber driver, now professional pitcher. Pittsburgh at Chicago. Trevor Williams, friend of the pod. He'll go up against who? Yu Darvish. And I think that's all we got in the Central with the St. Louis and Milwaukee postponement.
That's all. I mean, you got some good games there, though.
Yeah, we'll talk more about the Indians Twins in a little bit.
I like Pitt. I like the Pitt Cubs matchup.
Okay.
Who Darvish versus T. Williams?
T. Williams, like we said, friend of the pod, and
I like it from an
obviously-
interest level, not like I think these dudes are going to deal level.
Well, nobody's running away with the Central. Like,
Nope.
we talk about that all the time. So pretty much all these games are important.
Yeah. Who's this Chris Bubik dude for the Royals who's making his debut today? Do you know anything on him, Jake?
The lefty from Cupertino?
He's from Cupertino?
Yeah.
That's where your iPhone is. The time comes from Cupertino, or is that the weather? When you get an iPhone, that's like the standard.
They got a lot of stuff there. We used to play Cupertino in hockey back in the day. Tri-Valley Blue Devils. What up? 20.
Where is Cupertino? Is that in California?
Yeah, Cupertino. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of in the Bay.
Think
Not in the Bay, but it's around there.
He's I think he went to Stanford for a little bit, unless I'm meaning that. He's Royals fans are excited about him. I think he's the
I may be very wrong. It may be like very much Bay Area. It's by Santa Clara.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Royals fans are excited. Let's see what he's got. I don't know.
In high school, this kid from Cupertino left me a voicemail threatening to kill me. So
Okay.
he said he'd bring a gun to the rink and kill me if there weren't so many dads on my hockey team that were cops that brought their gun to the rink as well.
Right.
So that was the voicemail I got, and I was like, "What?
What's up, dude?
What's
Sounds
up?"
like an empty threat to me because here you are.
Yeah. His name was Preston. So, what's up, Preston?
Sure, he's super cool. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Well,
to hang out with.
I was like an obnoxious shit talker on the ice, so, and he was definitely a guy who didn't have a sense of humor. So,
Sure.
All right.
so Cupertino.
Yeah, Bubich. It might be Bubik. Who knows? We'll find out tonight. 22 years old, number 6 prospect in the Royals org, number 3 pitching prospect. Brady Singer, who got the call the other day, he's thrown for the Royals. So that's kind of exciting. You got 2 of your top 3 pitching prospects on the big league team throwing.
He's got a nice
So
smile.
let's see what he's got. Yeah,
Nice smile.
Californian.
Going to get Keiko. What's going on in the West, Trev?
We got a full slate in the West. We're doing it out here.
Let's hear about it.
All right, we'll start off with my Padres against Jake's Rocks. Got Garrett
Ooh.
Richards going against John Gray. That's a good pitching matchup right there. Padres have been playing great baseball. Had a big extra inning outburst last night. I got to watch that. They did a really good job. They're coming out hot. Then we can move on to Anaheim Angels hosting the Astros. Lance McCullers Jr. versus Matt Andriese. I don't know.
Sure.
Trout's not there on paternity leave, so good luck to Trout and his wife. We'll move on to San Francisco, where this is awesome. Rangers visit, Mike Minor throwing, and the Giants don't have a pitcher listed. So we'll see how that goes. Both teams kind of in the cellar right now. Got to figure it out. Got to get those wins. Move on to Arizona. The Dodgers visit the D-backs. Tony Gonsolin, I believe, is making his season debut. Just another one of the pitchers the Dodgers just have in their back pocket, going up against Zach Gallen. Two good teams. The Dodgers look good, obviously. The D-backs need to step it up a little bit because, Jake, they were your team.
I jumped on late. So dumb. Maybe.
And then, and rounding things out, my A's versus the Mariners up in Seattle. Sean Manaea versus Taijuan Walker. 2 big boys on the mat. I always like the big boy matchups, and that's what we're going to get here. Both had tough first starts, looking to bounce back, and that is what is going on in the West. Full slate of games. Gotta love it.
Nice.
Sir.
I was going to say something, I forget, but the A's need a win. They just lost 2 in a row to the Rockies. I think the Diamondbacks are the only team that is currently more than 2 games behind in their division, which doesn't mean anything. But I was trying to see like who's doing the worst of the worst right now comparatively to their division. I think it's the
White Sox are 2.5. Let's see. The Diamondbacks are 3. So they're the only team that's 3 games back early.
yeah. So they got to win.
Get a win. The Angels Mariners was my game I was watching last night. Mariners, they almost creeped up on the bet, by the way, but we'll circle up on that later. They get another dub. Mike Trout does go on paternity leave. But, yeah, I mean, there's 2 the two worst teams in baseball right now are the Diamondbacks and the Angels.
How about that?
Early.
Jake, so you kind of just mentioned one of these games
Yes.
is your. What are you watching for, Jake? Give us your game already.
I mean, Trev with a beautiful teaser. So just professional. His Padres at my Rockies. A couple teams off to nice starts, especially my Rocks. My Rocks are they're second in the MLB in ERA right now. Cleveland jumped them. I think it's 1.83 to 1.84. So the Rockies are shoving. That's normally the opposite of what they've done the past few years. But we make our triumphant return to Coors. Slip me a Coors.
I don't think they've pitched at home yet.
Slip me a Coors. And the Padres, this will make sense because it's the Rockies' home game, but they haven't pitched at Coors either. So you mentioned John Gray, you mentioned Garrett Richards. Let's see how that off-speed stuff is moving tonight. Let's see if these two teams, if the starters can hold it together and we can get it to the bullpens, if we are playing high-quality baseball, or if this does break out into a traditional Coors Field game.
I have a homer pick from this game.
I would bank. I was looking for a homer pick. I couldn't figure out who it was. I like that you took one from this game.
I figured it out.
Okay, that's awesome. I think this is going to turn into Rockies baseball pretty quick.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like, how ridiculous is it if you're a pitcher, a guy like Richards who has that good 12-6 curveball, you go and play a team in the big leagues, and all of a sudden, because of where their stadium is located, your pitch doesn't work.
Yeah.
That's got to be so frustrating.
That's why Kevin Gossman's so good. He came up in Colorado. He's not good, though, so.
Yeah.
He's in the book.
That was
As
good
well
one,
as
Trev.
Garrett Richards
Well
twice.
done.
But, we won't.
Well done.
I'm not
Yeah,
talking about me. The
let's
show's not about
dwell
me.
on that.
Yeah. I have Gossman and
Yeah.
those guys in my book as well.
Keep going back to your.
A lot of guys
book
on the
of
slate today are in
pictures.
my book. Again,
As well as mine.
Same with Jim.
Bubik wasn't in my book, but now he is.
Yeah.
Once I go update it.
Lance McCullers, book. Alex Cobb, book.
Book.
Nice.
Who else
Hey,
is
I'm gonna
there?
go.
Jim?
I'm gonna go with my game that I'm watching out for, and I'm gonna let you guys know right now.
Sure.
It's the Mets and the Braves.
Yes. East Coast.
One game difference. I think these games, we saw them play two really good games to start the season. You got Pretty Ricky on the bump for
Book?
Book. Pretty Ricky.
Porcello?
Porcello.
Oh, yeah, he is also.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same with Jim.
Same with mine. Yeah, he's on
Sorry.
mine. No, it's good.
So many of them. I have
Yeah.
to,
It's tough.
Pretty Ricky was awful his last start,
Yeah.
so he needs to be better. And Sean Newcomb, it wasn't amazing. He only goes 3.1. He didn't give up any runs, but the pitch count ran up to, I think, 82 pitches, and he couldn't get out of the fourth inning. So it's two pitchers. I mean, Pretty Ricky trying to do, so much better, but
Yeah.
Newcomb would like to improve upon his last start as well. The Braves win. They take a 2-game lead. The Braves lose. It's all squared up. And then if it's all squared up, it makes the next two games really fun. So I'm actually rooting for the Mets to take this one, even though I like the Braves more than the Mets. That's the game I think I'm watching out for.
I mean, think about the NL East, and there's just no teams. Like, they don't have any teams.
Yeah.
There's two teams in the NL East playing.
Yeah, I mean, Marlins are in first place.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I'm interested because we got a little reverse momentum there. The Mets should have gone up 1-3 straight against the Red Sox, but they kind of flunked the dunk in that last inning. Instead, they lose their final two games. Pretty Mets of them. The Braves called them out, said, hey, let's do it. They did. They win back-to-back games. Fried dropped some dick himself yesterday.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, let's see if the momentum carries for either of those teams.
Yeah.
Last time the Braves saw the Mets, the Braves put up a 14 spot on
And I think
Sunday
Edwin
Night
Diaz,
Baseball.
according to quotes from, what's the Mets manager's name? Luis, or what's his name?
Rojas.
Rojas.
Luis Rojas, yeah.
I think it looks like Diaz is probably out of the closer role. So
Rojas
maybe,
in the book.
yeah.
Is he a pitcher?
He's not in mine.
No, he's not in Jim's either.
Yeah.
So, boxed up.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe Diaz isn't in the... If a close game, I'm definitely looking out for how do they use Diaz if they use him at all.
Okay, I like that.
So that's the game that I think has some storylines I'm interested in.
TPP.
Okay. I'm running it back to back in this series. I think it's the most important series going on right now. I'm looking at that Indians Twins game. No, it's not because I'm a homer. It's because I want to see how the Twins react to getting Biebered. because that is what happened. I am like, that's maybe the biggest regret in my life up until this point is not believing in Shane Bieber.
Yeah, you were not a believer. I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
The guy is, everything comes out of his hand the exact same and then darts 17 different ways.
Did you see the tunneling graph? I was telling Jake, but I don't think you've seen it yet. The tunneling graph from his outing last night is great.
It sucks. I mean, you saw like Mitch Garver just take a fastball right down the middle because the previous pitch came out the exact same and fell off the plate.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're guessing. So what I'm thinking here is, we talked about this. The Indians in a 3-game set, scary. The Twins want to do something in the postseason. They're going to have to figure out a way to bounce back after getting shut down like they did last night. They're going up against Clevenger, who obviously is no slouch, one of the better pitchers in the league. I want to see how the Twins bats react because they need to be able to bounce back after a game like that. There are some veterans there, Nelson Cruz, Josh Donaldson. These guys can help out with that mental state, but you got to go do it. If they lose 2 in a row here and get shut out, I think Twins fans are going to start biting their nails a little bit. Like, what do we got going on here in Cleveland? This was supposed to be our year, and Cleveland has come into our city and shoved.
Well, Clevenger has had his way with the Twins, too. I mean, his last 5 starts, he's never allowed more than 2 earned runs in a start. He's a bad matchup for them so far. So we'll see how it happens. And then you got Dobnak on the other side, who put together a good enough outing so far. But
it's just one of those games, man. You got to see something from the Twins.
Big first inning coming back from that game. And it's a normal trend, but I think it might have even ticked up a little bit this year that first inning pitchers are getting clipped because they're, not fully settled in yet. I think you normally see that a decent amount, but especially trying to bounce back, and that might be your best chance to get Clevenger. When his first start, Soler and Salvi got him in the first inning. So good first inning to watch.
Need Josh Donaldson to come and do some damage today. That would help out a lot.
Number 2-4 at third base, baby.
Mm-hmm. That's what
I
I
think
got.
That's all the what to watch for us.
Sure.
Moving on. Homer draft. It's the Homer draft. Did anyone get one yesterday? You got one with Luke Voigt. Jake got one, so he's on the board. So you have 3 points. Trev has 3 points. I have 0 points.
Today's your day. I'm feeling good for you.
No, don't. You have Voigt rolling over for you.
Yes.
Now, Trev still has Keston Hira on his dick-dropping tour.
Right.
But that game got postponed, so the tour has been postponed twice in a row. Eventually, you'll have him as your third.
Yeah.
But we all get 2 new picks, and since I'm the worst, I'm just going to throw my 2 picks out there first for you guys. No, I told you I was going to that series in Colorado.
Right. You said you knew who was going to hit a homer.
I figured it out.
I think you're on the board.
Yeah, so you go there, you try to figure it out, you take Will Myers.
Ooh, okay. Will
Yeah.
You are doing it. You are doing
yeah. Will Myers absolutely crushes Gray.
I like it.
And it's in Colorado. He's got 3 homers off of him. 2 of them came last season. He had he had 5 hits and 11 at-bats last season against him. He just feels great when he steps in the box. You're in Coors Field. The ball's flying everywhere. I'm taking Will Myers. He's the guy. Like I said, okay, Colorado. Okay, there's going to be a home run. Well, who's going to hit it? So I went to the drawing board, and I figured it out. So my first pick is Will Myers. And then my next pick was I went to the Twins-Indians game, or the Twins-Indians game. What's your face about, Trev?
Oh, nothing that you're saying. Just keep going.
Okay.
I'll tell you, yeah.
Will Myers also has a hit in each of his last 4 games, and he had a double yesterday and a home run 2 games ago. So there's also a little he's not doing terrible right now. I went to the Twins game because I thought that's a great matchup, and Dobnak doesn't impress me at all, and I wanted to get one of the power bats. Trev, I guess, had the same thought because he chose Jose Ramirez. Spoiler.
Wow.
And I wanted him,
gosh.
and I wanted him, so I pivoted to Lindor.
Wow.
Someone's getting
Stepping
Dobby.
on toes. Looks
So
like an Usman
I just gave away one of your picks, Trev. Who is your other, and why did you choose Jose?
All right, I went with Ramirez just because that is my strategy. I'm continuing to do my strategy. He's a switch hitter, but obviously with the platoon splits, lefty righty, I just, it's what it's been working for me. I'm gonna stick with it, coach. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. This is like the guy that everyone is on, Luis Robert,
Wow.
going up against the guy making his debut, I believe, Bubik, right?
Yeah, I like
Not
that.
to be confused with Bubak, who does our music
our
here.
theme song guy.
Yeah.
Lefty righty.
I just went and did a baseball reference with Bubik, and I'm a little scared now because he spells his name with a K, and it's Kristofer. I'm always scared of guys that have the strange spelling of their name
His first name is Christopher with a K.
and an F.
You can't blame the sins of the parents on the child, Trev.
It sounds like that is, gotta have to do something with his heritage. I don't know. That sounds like Christopher's obviously been around. It's a
German.
popular name. Yeah, it might
Like,
be a
we're not gonna
German
be
way to
mad.
spell it.
Yeah, Jake's parents gave him a dog's name. That's not his fault.
We love dogs.
But if you're Chris with a K, you're probably pretty good. We got Chris Bryant, and that's it. That's all I can think of right now. But anyways,
Davis.
I'm taking Robert
you
because
you had a layup with Chris Davis.
That's with the H, though. Either way.
it's the H.
It's
The
got
reason, let me tell you the reason I'm doing this. Because Bubik hasn't pitched above A ball. And you see a monster like Luis Robert coming up, you're going to make a mistake and he's going to capitalize. That's my pick.
Trev, I'm surprised. I like the picks. I'm surprised that you didn't go with the vet there. I feel like maybe a Jose Abreu might have been a sneaky play, the old wily vet against the young kid.
I'm thinking this guy throws hard. I don't know anything about him. So I'm going with the young stud, the high T-level stud that can get that bat.
Maybe you've seen him before. Maybe not.
Like that.
Someone in the chat on YouTube said Jimmy has now picked Ben Gamble, Jacoby Jones, and Will Myers. So
Yeah.
Jacoby Jones was that was a pick by
He's
proxy.
He's been playing well.
And he has 3 home runs. There's only 10 guys with 3 homers, so it wasn't awful.
And I like the Will Myers pick.
Thank you.
That's good. You're on the board today. I feel that.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
And by the way, I made a top flight UFC joke earlier. So to all the UFC fans, thank you.
What was it?
When you said Ramirez, I said you're stepping on his toes like it's an Usman fight. He's the guy in UFC. He literally just hugs guys and steps on their toes. It's the worst fight you've ever seen.
Should we do that?
They call him Snooze Man.
Should you and I do that?
No. Zero fun, sir. I have Luke Voigt carrying over from yesterday. He's hit home runs in his past 2 games, and he's facing the Red Sox today, so I'm excited about that. I am going with just a couple traditionally good ball players. I am going against a friend of the pod. I took Javi Baez. I took him against Trevor Williams and the Pittsburgh Pen, to be fair. I just think Javi likes the ball anywhere around the zone. And, Trevor's game is kind of trying to milk the corners and things like that. If he gets behind Baez and he's got to come in, I think Javi's got him. And then I am going with Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman's been swinging an okay stick.
And Pretty Ricky sucks.
He's as solid as they come, and that's a pretty important point by Jim. I think Porcello's lost, man.
Jake is also
Jim's book. He's in Trevor's book.
Yeah, he's definitely in my book, but you've never had any faith in him.
I mean, the worst Cy Young award ever given out. I mean, I can respect.
Just ask Kate Upton.
I can respect that he evolved his career a little bit, but I mean, he's just not good. So, Freddie Freeman, Javi Baez.
I'll be honest, I don't love your picks,
Okay.
but I appreciate that you like mine.
Damn.
And I've liked your picks in the past.
What if I told you Trevor Williams gives up more home runs to righties than lefties? So I considered a Schwarbo, but I went
like
Baez.
that. Oh, if we're doing considerings, I wanted to
Boy.
take Hicks, lefty versus righty in the stadium. I closed my head. I was like, I think Hicks is hitting a bomb today. Because I just wanted to pick a lefty back in the Bronx.
I like this. Did you have any just misses today, Trev?
I didn't, but I want to ask you something because
Please.
with the Cardinals testing positive,
Here
their
we go.
game is delayed. They just left Minnesota. There's a possibility that they postpone that game. I don't have any inside info, but that's kind of how they've been doing. Should we do an alternate pick? Or is this just you leave it to chance?
I think it's the world we
Leave
live
it a
in.
chance, yeah.
Okay.
It's the world we live in.
I have a prop bet. We did it today on the series recap episode that Jake and I did. I gave it to him, so go listen to that. We gave out awards and Slump Watch and all that shit. But since we don't do these on Saturday and Sundays, I'm doing a weekend prop bet.
Ooh.
And here it is, Trev. Now, we're doing the Roosevelt's homer board to see if anyone will break 20. So far, 54 guys in the league have 2 home runs. 10 have 3 or more. 2 have 4 home runs, okay? 2 guys have 4 home runs. 8 have 3. That's what you need to know. After this weekend, Sunday night when all the games are done, Trev, will there be a player... You know what? I think that's too hard. We're all going to take the under. If I do, will there be a player that has 6? But so will there be more over/under players with 5 home runs Sunday night, 2.5?
Okay. So players with 5 total home runs on the season. Over.
I think you should put it at
2.5.
4.5 because you can't have 5. It's going to be. Or what was the?
Okay.
What
That
was
would
the
be a
bet?
lot.
He's saying that.
How
so
many
it's-
players will have 5 home runs
okay.
Sunday night?
So it's the quantity of players with 5 home runs.
Yeah, so
He's got
I'm
it at 2.5.
I might just drop it to 2.
Ooh, leaving the push open.
Leaving the push open.
I'm taking the over either way.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay, 2.5 it is then. Trev, what do you want?
The hitters have looked good.
How many people
2?
at 4?
2.
5.
It's a tough one. Again, you've been pretty good with these, Jim. Not gonna lie, I didn't
think
have faith in you, and now I'm.
Yesterday
you've
was
gained my
close.
trust.
So yesterday update, Bieber struck out 13, and the Mariners put up 10. They had 10 hits, so it was kind of close.
I'd make the same damn bet again, and I'd lose every time. I'm
Yeah.
proud of
Dude.
my Mariners for putting up a 10 spot.
The Bieber, yeah. Okay. I will go with the under. I'm pretty hard on the under throughout the season. I said 17 is going to lead the league. Take the under.
So all of Nelson Cruz's home runs came in 1 game, I believe. He has 3. He's one of the 10 players that has 3 or more. And I think he's going to hit 2 this weekend.
Ooh.
Okay.
Someone needs to step up and get some homers on the board against the Indians. So I think Nelson Cruz, and he's only got 1 game with home runs. So he needs to spread them out some more. So I think he'll get there. I think I'm going to take the over as well. I think we'll have 3 guys with 5 home runs come the end of the weekend.
Okay. I'm taking the under, but I'm buying the hook.
Okay.
Smart
Move.
Smart man.
Hook
It's not
costs
really
$1.
Okay.
$1. Venmo.
Yeah. Comes in a little plastic baggie of multiple hooks. I think that's it.
Okay.
Can I have a little segment here?
Absolutely. Trevor segment.
Trevor's
if you guys
segment of
see
the
my hat.
day. What's up?
I don't know if you see my hat.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody watching, it's a USC Trojans fight on. For those who don't know, that's where I signed to go out of high school. Mike Gillespie came into my house. I had a meeting with him. Stanford the next day. I met with him, and that was it. I wanted to go play for USC. Unfortunately, Mike passed away, and I just kind of wanted to honor him a little bit. He coached a lot of baseball. A lot of guys in the big leagues were under him. He went from USC to UCI, had an incredible run there as well. So just shout out Coach Gillespie,
Shout
a
out.
legend in the college ranks and in the baseball world.
I didn't know that you were doing a somber and meaningful
Sorry.
segment, so I had the soundboard ready to drop like a
Sure.
comical sound drop
Yeah.
that related, and then I quickly had to get away from that.
Yeah.
That is, that's nice. It's
Yeah.
good remembrance there. Someone had said Nelson had 2 in 1 game, 1 in the other game, so I still stand by it. I think he needs more games with home runs.
Saw the Boone brothers were giving some love. A lot of USC baseball's strong family.
Yeah.
Yep. All right,
And like
everyone.
I said, a couple other places too. He's a legend.
Yeah.
Everyone have a fantastic weekend. We will be back with the Talkin' Baseball pregame show on Monday, as well as a series recap. voicemail episodes on Thursdays and Trevor's Tidbits, where we will talk about the corona. We will talk about the extra innings. We will talk about all these long-form things that need to be discussed. So tune in. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic weekend. Go the ball. We talked about Fulte on the podcast today, and we'll talk about it later, so you can find it there. Bye, guys. Fight on. Talking Yanks pregame's on Instagram today.